Hello students, I am Sayyada here and today we are going to learn Chapter 2, A Gift of Chapels, Part 4. Students, in the previous video, I had explained you page number 24 till the second last paragraph. Now we are going to move to the last paragraph on page number 24. Before reading and understanding the chapter, let us first go through the meanings. Students, on this page we have the word snooze, which means a short sleep. Already I told you earlier. Then we have got the phrase kept my body and soul together, means managed to stay alive. Then we had got the word fed up, which meant tired and unhappy. Today we will be learning a new word, verily. The meaning of the word verily is, it's an adverb which means tired. Verily means tired. Now let's move on to page number 25. We have got the word blisters. The word blisters means boils, bubbles on the skin from burns or rubbing. Then we have got the word blubbering. Blubbering means to cry noisily. The next meaning is eyes filling. The phrase eyes filling means with tears in the eyes. Let's move on to page number 26. On page number 26, we have got the word unappreciative. Unappreciative means disapproving. Then we have got the word crouching. The word crouching means bending the knees and bringing the upper body forward and down. It means to crouch, to bend the knees and bring the upper body forward and down. Then students, let's move on to the next page. Page number 27. Here we have got the word lurking. Lurking, it means waiting quietly without attracting attention. Then we have got the word groan. The word groan means to make a deep sound of pain. And on this page we have got another word, brashly. Again, it's an adverb. It means confidently in a rude or aggressive way. Students, today I will be explaining you till go inside this minute on page number 27. So students, are you all ready? So students, today I will begin from the last paragraph on page number 24. We will read 24 last paragraph, page number 25, page number 26 and page number 27 till go inside this minute. So students, please be ready with your readers and please pay attention while I read. I'll go, he said verily. Students, here who is speaking? I'll go. The beggar is saying, I'll go. He's tired, so his voice is like that. Only let me have a rest under this tree. The sun is too hot. The tar has melted on the road. My feet are already blistered. He stretched out his feet to show large pink peeling blisters on the soles of his bare feet. Students, I told you the meaning of the word blisters. It means boils, bubbles on the skin from burns or rubbing. So, the beggar had blisters on his feet. I suppose he doesn't have the money to buy chappals. Mrudu whispered to Meena and Ravi. Have you got an old bear in the house somewhere? I don't know, said Ravi. Mine are too small to fit his feet, or I'd have given them to him. And his feet were larger than Mrudu's and Meena's. The beggar was shaking out his upper cloth and tightening his dhoti. He raised his eyes and looked fearfully at the road gleaming in the afternoon heat. He needs something on his feet, Meena said, her big eyes filling. It's not fair. Shh, said Ravi. I'm thinking about it. Blubbering. It's not fair, isn't going to help. In 2 minutes, he'll be frying his feet on that road. What he needs is a pair of chappals. So where do we get them? Come, let's search the house. He pushed Mrudu and Meena into the house. Just as she stepped into the veranda, Mrudu's eyes fell on the odd-looking chappals she had noticed when she arrived. Ravi, she whispered to him, whose are those? Ravi turned and glanced at the shabby-looking but sturdy old slippers. He beamed and nodded. These are just the right size, he said, picking them up. Mrudu and Meena followed him nervously back into the garden. Here, said Ravi to the beggar, dropping the slippers in front of the old man. Wear these and don't come back. The beggar stared at the slippers, hurriedly flung his towel over his shoulder, pushed his feet into them and left, muttering a blessing to the children. In a minute, he had vanished around the corner of the street. The music master came out of the house and took an unappreciative look at the three of them sitting quietly under the tree playing marbles. Then he searched for his chappals in the veranda where he had put them. Lalli, he called after a few moments. She hurried up to him. Have you seen my chappals, my dear? I remember having kept them here. Ravi, Mrudu and Meena silently watched Lalli and the music master search every corner of the veranda. He scurried around looking over the railing and crouching near the flower pots to look between them. Brand new they were. I went all the way to Mount Road to buy them. He went on saying, they cost a whole month's fees, do you know? Soon Lalli went in to tell her mother, Rukmani. Rukmani appeared, looking harassed with Party following her. Where could they be? It's really quite upsetting to think someone might have stolen them. So many vendors come to the door, worried Party. Rukmani caught sight of Ravi, Mrudu and Meena sitting under the tree. Have you children? She began, and then seeing they were curiously quiet, went on more slowly. Seen anyone lurking around the veranda? A sharp V-shaped line had formed between her eyebrows. Another straight, tighter one appeared in place of her usually soft, pleasant mouth. Rukmani was angry, thought Mrudu with a shiver. She wouldn't be so upset if she knew about the poor beggar with sores on his feet, she tried to tell herself. Taking a deep breath, she cried, Rukmani, there was a beggar here. Poor thing, He had such boils on his feet. So, said Rukmani grimly, turning to Ravi, you gave the music master's chappals to that old beggar who turns up here? Children these days, groaned Party. Amma, didn't you tell me about Karna who gave away everything he had? Even his gold earrings? He was so kind and generous. Silly, snapped Rukmani. Karna didn't give away other people's things. He only gave away his own. But my chappals wouldn't have fitted the beggar's feet. Ravi rushed brashly on. And Amma, if they did fit, would you really not have minded? Ravi, said Rukmani, very angry now. Go inside this minute. So students, here we come to the end of the paragraph. As I told you earlier, I will be explaining you till go inside this minute. So students, did you understand what was taught to you today? A beggar had come to the door and he was making himself comfortable in the garden under the neem tree. But what does Tapi say? Tapi tells the children to tell him to go away because every day he was coming to their door asking for alms. And when the beggar hears that the people of this house are not going to give him any more alms, he said, okay, I will go away. But the sun on the road, it was too hot. And then he showed his feet to the children, to Ravi, Mrudu and Meena. And his feet had large pink peeling blisters. So the children had pity and they gave away the music master's chappals to the beggar. When the music master, he comes out of the room to leave, he couldn't find his chappals. And then he questions Lalli. And Lalli and the music master, they look out for the chappals, but they couldn't find it. Then Rukmani, she comes out and she questions the children. And on questioning them, she comes to know that they had given away the chappals to the beggar who had large peeling blisters on his feet. Now in the next video when I come back, I will complete the chapter A Gift of Two Chappals. We will start from the last paragraph and I will complete the whole chapter. Students, I hope you are enjoying and the story is very interesting. So please listen to the explanation, to the reading and part 1. First please read part 1, see the video part 1, then part 2, part 3 and this is part 4. So if you miss out any video, you will not understand the story. So please see all the videos from part 1, 2, 3 and 4. Thank you students. Goodbye.